Hey, what's going on guys, Khraze here, welcome back to another Godfall video, and today let's finally go over the release times for this game. It's going to launch tomorrow. It seems that it actually launches a few hours earlier than we initially expected. Maybe in some regions you might even get to play it before the 12th. That's how crazy actually it is. Of course, we do have the release time windows for pretty much both the PC and the PS5 version of the game. We also have the subject of matchmaking to talk about, and later on in the video we're gonna go over some other stuff that you need to know prior to the launch of Godfall. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on it. And by the way guys, we have a brand new giveaway for the month of November. You can go ahead and take part in it simply by following the links in the description box down below. Of course, you can choose the game you want to win, and at the end of it the winner is going to get contacted via email, and of course with the CD key of the game itself. And a huge shout out to Instant Gaming for actually making this possible. So for the PC version of the game, everybody, no matter their region, will be able to play it simultaneously all at the very same time, since this is going to be a global launch. And I'm actually surprised by the times over here, because usually it doesn't go with this route. So it's going to go live, at least in my region, which should be about Central Europe Standard Time. It's going to go live at 10 p.m. tomorrow on the 11th, which is about a few hours earlier than the normal midnight release that we usually get in these regions. So usually it would have been November 12th, pretty much midnight release over there. So I kind of like that this is the route they're going with. Of course, the other regions, you can see them right now on this map. You can expect the game to release around these hours in your region. But of course, we also have the PS5 release, which is a little bit more complicated. And the reason for that is, well, on one part, you're likely not going to have the PS5 by the time the game launches in your region, because, well, you know, it has to be transported physically to your location. But we also have the situation with Europe and some other parts in the world that only get the PS5 a week later, so basically a week after this. So kind of like a bummer, but we can see the timers over here too. So this is going to be the global release times for the PlayStation 5. Pretty much everybody, well, with the exception of Europe, is going to get it on November 12th, but on the other hand, we're gonna get it on the 19th for everybody else, especially in Europe. So yeah, that is kind of like how you can expect this to go. But now the question that arises is, what about the preload times, because you don't really have any details on that. Well, I think that this is kind of already a given, but I think that we aren't going to get any preloads for the PC. And the reason I'm saying that is because we are already getting the game about a couple of hours earlier than we should have. So this kind of, well, semi accounts for the preload, but not really. Like, usually companies give about a week or at least a couple of days advance notice for when preloads are going to happen, but it seems that in this case, yeah, Gearbox, well, they didn't actually notify us on anything, which means likely that we're just gonna get the game tomorrow, and we're gonna be able to download everything tomorrow when it launches in each of the respective regions. And it should go pretty much the same for the PS5, since of course most people don't have the units in their houses. There's not going to be any preload to speak of until the game already launches in your region. But of course, this is not going to be the case unless you're lucky enough to get it early, like if you're a content creator or if you're somebody who just got lucky enough to get one in advance. I've seen a few people playing already on their PS5s. I've seen a few digital versions actually already being taken home by people, but of course that needs a day one patch, so I don't think they are usable yet. Now let's talk about the matchmaking, because this was another big subject about a couple of days ago. So initially we had an article that pretty much mentioned and confirmed that Godfall would have matchmaking activated on launch day, and it pretty much went this way. So according to the article, previously it said that it does support, the game does support drop in, drop out matchmaking, and that the loot will be instant, which means that of course each player will see their own loot and they won't be able to have their loot stolen by somebody else in their party. But now, after checking the same like article a couple of days later, it seems that it has actually been edited, or at the very least that part with the drop in, drop out matchmaking is now missing altogether, which kind of raises the question, has this been an error in the article? Has it been redacted or corrected, or is it just something that kind of bypassed the editor? I kind of want to know this. Of course, we don't really have any official confirmation, and it's very likely that we should expect for the game to not launch with matchmaking. But again, take this with a grain of salt, because we don't have any confirmation either way. On the last note, the only one thing that I do want to talk about is, should you pre-order the game or should you wait for reviews? Of course, there's people out there who already probably got review copies of the game. I know at least one YouTuber who already got a Godfall package sent, so I think it's safe to assume that these will probably come tomorrow when the game actually launches. But should you pre-order the game? Maybe you're one of those people who really like pre-order bonuses. Well, here is what you need to know about the pre-order content in Godfall if you choose to get the game early, and that is of course well, this right here. It comes with some really interesting stylistic choices, I might say. So now of course you will get that chromatic, Silvermane, Phoenix and Greyhawk Valor Plate skins. They kind of look okay, but I'm not like a huge fan of them and whatnot. You also kind of get like a starter pack of items, like you get some early augments, amulets, trinkets and some rings that will help you in the early game, but likely you will replace them within like just a few levels. But probably the ones that are most important are going to be the 0+ sword. This is probably going to be the one that is most important. I think that this is going to stay exclusive to, of course, Godfall. And if you played Borderlands, by the way, this is basically the same sword that the character Zero is using in Borderlands 2, and I think in Borderlands 3 too, like you have a cinematic over there where he kind of uses it, but I'm not 100% sure if it's like a one-on-one recreation. The last one is going to be a Typhon Valor Plate skin. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be different versions. So for the Epic store, I think that we get the yellow version of it, like the yellow skin and whatnot, and then for the PS5 with all of the editions, you get the red version of it, which also looks quite interesting. So it's a matter of preference. Yellow for the PC, red for the PS5 kind of looks interesting, but let me know what your opinion is down below. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. As always, I'm going to be covering Godfall in the upcoming days and weeks, so if you want to see more Godfall content here on this channel, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.